Let us now look at data. We used a simple text file in our previous program, where we copied the contents of one file, the from file, to another, called the to file. Let us take a look at this from file again. You may recall we called it a flat file or physical file. You'll be amazed to know that in the past, COBOL programs used just flat files to maintain elaborate systems that were used in financial accounting, banking services, inventory and production planning, and so on. Databases were the next big thing, as they offered more robust and efficient ways of handling data. COBOL, in later releases, in its object-oriented format, is capable of handling databases, but let us look at how they used flat files, as this was how COBOL was handling data. Going back to our from file, you'll notice several rows of data, each beginning with digits, and then followed by the name of a performer or a band. Note that these numbers you see in the beginning of each row are only alphanumeric data. That is, they aren't actually numbers. They cannot be used for computations. In data and database terminology, each row in the file is called a record. Each record in this file contains a set of digits followed by the name of a band or a performer. These two pieces of information, that is, the code and the name of the band or performer, are called fields. Therefore, to sum it up, a file contains several rows of records, and each record comprises one or more fields. In our file, each record contains a unique code for the band or the performer. You can also notice that going line by line from the top to bottom, the codes are in the ascending order. Also, going line by line from top to bottom, the names of the bands and singers have been sorted in the alphabetic order. However, in files, this type of ordering, that is, ascending order of numbers, or names arranged in alphabetic order, need not be the case. We'll be discussing this more later on. Now, going back to each of the individual records of the file, you'll notice that the two pieces of information, the code followed by the name of a band or performer, have a fixed length, which means there is a definite size for the fields. That's why we placed a ruler on top for illustration purposes only. Flat files actually will not contain them. Now, let us learn to extract fields from records of a bigger file, one with more fields and records. We'll be using a different file this time, one that has sales details from a company that deals with auto spare parts. Let us take a look at how this text file or flat file looks. Each record in this file contains the following pieces of information or fields. The fields in order from left to right are customer number, challan number, challan date, item number, item description, quantity, and rate. Each of these fields has a fixed length, which we'll explain more as we get into the program. Copyprog 2. Let us run the program that extracts this information from file 1, and then let us check what was extracted into file 2. As can be seen, this is the original file, and these are the fields the COBOL program extracted into file 2. Let us take a look at the program, and under File section, observe how we define the fields for the input and output files. So, under InRec, we define the various fields into which the data from each record are inserted as they are read line by line from file 1. This is what is meant by organization is line sequential that we defined earlier under File Control. So going from left to right of each record, the first 5 characters are extracted into the field customer number, which has X for alphanumeric data type and of length 5 to accommodate the 5 characters of the customer number. This pic X is also known as the picture clause of the field. The next 4 characters are inserted into the challan number field. The following 6 digits are extracted into a numeric field. The 9 and the number 6 indicated in parentheses indicates the size of the numeric field, in our case, comprising 6 digits. The next 2 fields, item number, comprising 5 alphanumeric characters, and item description, comprising the next 25 characters, are extracted in a similar way. The next 5 digits are extracted into a numeric field named quantity, and the subsequent 5 digits after that are extracted into the field item rate. We'll discuss numeric data in the next program. The final 25 characters are extracted to the field titled unused. These fields are then transferred to their equivalent fields defined under outrec and written into file 2, line by line. As we want the fields to be separated by a small gap for better visibility, 3 spaces are added in between fields. We do this with the filler field, which has a picture clause of 3x, denoting 3 spaces. The only other thing you need to take note of is the way the date field is written with slashes, and this is facilitated by using this formatting with slashes with the picture clause in the definition of the output field.